Hey guys, I'm back to update you guys about what happened in my last week and a half in New York. This video is slightly delayed. I'm getting adjusted back to my Ohio life and my routine here in Columbus, but I wanted to make sure that I let you guys know how the rest of my trip in New York went. When I left you guys last, I had had my third weekend in New York City, and my fiance came to visit. After he left, I spent the rest of my time in New York rooming with a fellow model friend of mine. Last full week that I was in New York, I officially signed with the agency that I chose, and I guess I can tell you guys now the name of that agency. It's EMG Models. It's still kind of hard for me to believe that that I did sign with an agency in New York, especially being back in Ohio and being so accustomed to my life here. Signed with them for 2 years. I have a worldwide exclusive contract with them, meaning that if I were to sign with an agency in Paris or in London or anywhere else in the world, EMG Models would still be my mother agent. The only caveat to that is that I am able to keep my agency here in Ohio as my Ohio agent. So I'm very thankful for that because my Ohio agency has been amazing in preparing me for New York, and I want to be able to stay with them in the capacity that I'm able to. So any work in Ohio would go through my Ohio agency. So after signing with EMG, I spent the rest of my time in New York going on a couple different go-sees, and then I also had another test shoot. I was able to shoot with a photographer that they wanted me to work with. So my shoots in New York came to a total of 2 different shoots that were set up through EMG, and hopefully those produced photos that will be used in my New York portfolio. And excited to be able to have more work that can represent me as I'm going to go-sees and castings in New York. Since returning back to Ohio, I've had my bachelorette party this past weekend and just been working on a bunch of wedding preparation. I'm going to be going back to New York in the last 2 weeks of April. My goal is that I'd be able to make it to some castings for a bridal fashion week that they have there. It's essentially 3 days of kind of like a trade show and fashion shows where bridal boutiques and bridal buyers will come to New York and see what is new for the new season. And I'm hoping that the time that I'm going back to New York will be able to encompass all the castings, or at least some of the castings for Bridal Week, and then hopefully I'll book some jobs and be able to maybe do a photo shoot or 2 while I'm there. It's a pretty quick trip with it only being 2 weeks, but it was kind of unexpected for me to go back. I wasn't planning to go back until after the wedding and everything, but I decided that I wanted to push myself to try to book jobs earlier, and the best way to book a job is to go to a casting, and you can't go to a casting when you're in Ohio. So I'll be back for the month of May to get married and everything, and then we have our honeymoon, and that will take us to the beginning of June. I am tentatively thinking that I'll be going back to New York for a couple months from about mid-July to early October. There's a lot of change going on right now, but it feels good, and it is surprising to me that I'm in the position that I'm in where I even have a reason to go back to New York. I had thought for a while that I wouldn't have a reason to go back because I wouldn't get signed. I'm feeling optimistic and excited, and this light on my face is a little weird coming from the blinds, but so that's what's going on with me. I'll keep you guys posted as much as I can in the next couple weeks, and of course I'll keep you posted on my next trip to New York, which is in a couple of weeks. So thanks for tuning in.